Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Piano Man Steve Lungrin, founder of the Piano Man Approach online course and also learningmusicisfun.com. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that we're going to have a little bit of fun and learn some really useful stuff today. We're going to do a song demonstration video. This is not a note-for-note tutorial, but I'm going to show you how you can use different techniques like chords and rhythm patterns and some very, very simple chord-based improv techniques and some other stuff to play a really, really famous song. And we're going to be looking at You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin' by the Righteous Brothers, which I saw the Righteous Brothers in 2002 before Bobby passed away, and it was a great show. And I don't know if this is still true, but at the time, this song had just overtaken Yesterday by the Beatles as the most played song on radio. Not the most covered song by other artists, but the most played song on the radio in history. So it's a big one. And so really quick before we get cranking on this, I just wanted to ask if you enjoy content like this, free content like this, I would sure appreciate it if you'd give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, let me know what you think of this one and what you might want me to cover in the future, and share the video with anyone you think might enjoy it. Really does help me beat the algorithm and get my work out to more people. So thank you very much for that. And of course, every single Friday, check back on my channel because we put out a new free lesson, either a song demonstration or just something, some kind of a technique or some useful tool that you can put in your piano playing toolkit. We call them Free Lesson Fridays, and we have fun with it. So come back every week for more free goodies. Okay, and of course my links down in the video description there. PianoManApproach.com. You're always welcome to be part of the community. Get my newsletter with notifications about all my free content and my blog posts and all that good stuff. So moving on, let's get on with this video. We're going to be doing my glide song learning formula, which is a kind of a magic 5-step formula that I use and have taught thousands of people around the world to use to learn any song they want. You can glide right through it, and it's an acronym. So I'm going to bring the guide or the glide formula up on the screen here, and we're just going to work through the steps on this great song. So first and foremost, we're in the key of D flat. I really wish for the purposes of teaching that we were in the key of C, just because this is a trickier key for people who are just getting started. If you're on a keyboard, you obviously could use the transposition function and play it in C, but I know some of you watch these and use an acoustic piano and then want to be able to play along with the Righteous Brothers recording. So we're going to learn it. We're going to demo it here in actual D flat. And another note here down in the video description, I have the lyrics and the chords all laid out for you at the bottom of the video description so that you don't have to go chasing them down. They're right there for you to look at and use as a guide. So let me bring this up on the screen. As you can see, each letter of the word glide has its own step in the formula. Step 1 is G, which is get the chords. And in some cases, you can find chords for free with song lyrics, and in other chords, by just doing a Google search. In other cases, you might have to purchase the sheet music or something from like maybe Hal Leonard or some other service. But when you do get sheet music, just understand we're going to be ignoring the written notes on the staff. That's not what it's for. What we're going to be looking for is the guitar chords above the staff. Okay? That's what we're going to be operating off of, is the guitar chords. So step 2, after you've gotten the chords, is, and by the way, I hate calling them guitar chords, but that's what everybody thinks of them as. But we're learning piano in a way that most people learn guitar, and that's why this is a great method and why it's so much faster to learn stuff. Sort of a great little system hack here. So step 2, we're going to listen to the song. L, listen to the song. Now that's easy because you can find the song just about anywhere. You know, you can find it on YouTube or Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music or any of a number of different variety of options that are out there. So you go and you have a listen to the tune. And you can do that for free pretty much anywhere as long as you're willing to watch an ad. So good stuff out there, a lot of options. Pick your poison, take a listen. And you can do that now. You can pause the video, listen to it now, or you can just wait until after we've completed the video. So step 3 is I, and that's identify the feel. And this step is really about finding the core rhythm pattern that's going to turn those chords into an actual approximation of the recording or the band, the ensemble that made that recording. So I teach 4 essential rhythm patterns, and we're gonna take a look at that here in just a second. Step 4 is to drill it down, which is you take a very simple version, take the most simplified version of the rhythm pattern, and you just kind of work yourself through the chords and get your hands used to the chord changes. Because once you start enhancing it, you don't want your brain focused on, okay, now what's the next chord and how do I get from this chord to this chord? You want that kind of already under your fingers. So you drill it down in a very simple way. And then step 5 finally is to enhance the song with simple improv and signatures, which means that you use very, very easy chord-based techniques, which I'm going to show you some here in this video. And then if you want to get a little more precise, then we look for any signature lines that are inside the song and try to incorporate them in a way that works with the piano. So that's the formula. That's the process that we actually use, okay? And we're going to talk about all of them as we go. So let me get this off the screen and let's start working it through the process. So I'm assuming, let's just pretend like you've done steps 1 and 2. You got the chords and you've listened to the song, and now we're ready to pick out our essential rhythm pattern feel, okay? So as you can see in the chords down there with the lyrics that I put in the video description for you in D flat, it starts out kind of an unusual chord. It's a B major chord, B, D sharp, F sharp, like so, with a D flat bass, okay? And what this essentially is that it creates a very kind of suspended dissonance sound. So if a D flat chord is here, we're a whole tone below it with this still in our bass. And it creates this effect, right? You can hear, it's like you hear this chord and it's dying to get resolved. It wants so bad to come up to that D flat chord, right? So that's our opening chord, and then eventually it goes to a D flat chord, and then it just kind of goes back and forth between that for a minute. So now what we need to do is we need to look at the 4 essential feels and see which one is closest to the song. So the first one is just what I call the basic feel, and it has kind of a quarter note drone in the left hand. Your left hand is always your bass guitar and your drum kit, okay? That's what your left hand's focus is in my style of play. It's doing both of those jobs. The rhythmic integrity and the harmonic foundation, okay? The right hand then becomes your guitars, your keyboards, and everything else. So there's a lot of flexibility for what the right hand can do, but the left hand needs to be rock solid, and we usually find something relatively simple for it, especially to get started with. So this is just the basic feel, quarter notes. Let's try the song on with it. So you play quarter notes here, and on 2 and 4, on counts 2 and 4, we play a right hand chord. Okay, so like if it's B over D flat, like so, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try it on. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. It's okay. It's a little choppy, right? It's like not quite as smooth as we'd like it to be. So maybe there's something that'll work better. Then we look at the country feel. And the country feel is where you're playing the root of the chord and then alternating back and forth to the 5 of the chord. What's the 5? If you're playing that scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in D flat, it would be D flat to A flat, like so. And then in between, you're just doing a little chord pounce. Okay, can you feel that? 1, dot, 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 dot. Now, I'm feeling pretty confident this is not the right rhythm pattern for this song, but let's just, for gaming it out, let's just see. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. That might work if you wanted to turn this in, if you wanted to do a different kind of arrangement, turn it into a polka or something, but probably not going to be using that. And we can feel that this has got 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So another of my basic feels is the waltz pattern, and that's designed for things with 3 beats per measure, so we can rule that out without even trying it on, right? So now what's left? The syncopated feel. And we also call this the heartbeat feel over at the Piano Man approach. And that's where, instead of a straight quarter note drone, we're going to add a little bit of syncopation in, and it becomes like a heartbeat, and it sounds like this. Your left hand goes thump, 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 thump. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? And just for starters, remember, we're going to have flexibility to change the right hand up, but just to have something to start out with, we just play quarter notes in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Okay? And I don't have time to get into, we have exercises that we do over at the Piano Man approach to get your help get the coordination, the independence between the hands built up. There's a lot of fun exercises you can do just on your lap or on a countertop or something to kind of get that down. But one of my favorite ones is to think of it like this. Think of George Washington, Washington, Sheenton, 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 Washington, Washington. And so you're just saying that name, but you remember this is Washington, Washington, Sheen, Washington, Inton, Sheenton, 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 Washington, 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 Washington. And that's kind of an interesting way, but I don't have time in this video to go through all the different ways to work that out. But how does this sound? Let's try this rhythm pattern on with the song. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. Now, do you see how suddenly the song slides right into the groove? It was a little choppy in the first one. The hoedown version doesn't work at all. We can't use a 3 beat per measure, but suddenly this thing just sort of finds the pocket almost immediately. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. Ooh, we're on to something, right? Okay, so now that we found our rhythm pattern, we go to the next step, which is drill it down. And what we want to do here is we don't want to think about anything except the most basic version of the chords, and we don't want to try to change up or enhance or modify that rhythm pattern in any way. We just want to get the chords under our hands. So in this case, it would be like B over D flat, D flat, back to B over D flat, back to D flat, and then it goes to an E flat minor. So you're trying hard not to show it. Then an F minor. So E flat minor, E flat, G flat, B flat, right? F minor, F, A flat, C, baby. And then to a G flat chord, which is G flat, B flat, D flat. But baby. And then it goes to a G flat chord over an A flat bass, creating that very same sort of tension that wants to be released that we had when we were playing at the beginning of the verse. Baby, I know it. And then finally it releases up to an A flat major, A flat, C, E flat. So, baby, I know it. And then we're on to the chorus, that wonderful chorus. D flat. You've lost that, and then it goes to an E flat minor but stays on the D flat bass. You've lost that love and feeling. Then it goes to an A flat major. Whoa, that love. Then back to the D flat chord. Love and feeling. Lost that love. Back to this whole E flat minor over the D flat chord. Love and feeling, now it's gone. And we're right back to this dissonance that we started the song out with. B major over a D flat chord. Gone. Love and feeling, now it's gone. And then you start the whole thing back over again. Okay, now I played it kind of slow and I just walked you through the basic chords. But the idea is to drill it down like that so that you can get it up to tempo without any special frills, and you're comfortable kind of being like, no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. But baby, I know it. You've lost that love and feeling. That love and feeling, now it's gone, gone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay? When you're comfortable and you can do that without really making a bunch of mistakes, now you're ready to move on to the final step, which is E, and that is enhance the song with simple improv and signatures. Okay? So now, there's a couple of different ways, a couple of different umbrellas of enhancements that I like to look at. There's rhythmic enhancements and there's harmonic enhancements. Rhythmic is where you create something kind of interesting or exciting with the timing and the articulation of the chords that you're playing. Harmonic is actually enhancing the chords that you're playing by maybe adjusting the voicing of the chord, or maybe even adding some notes in to make it a more complex chord, because you like the sound of it in that spot, and it just makes it a little more interesting to the ear. And of course, there's absolutely no rule that says you can't do both harmonic and rhythmic enhancements. So let's take a look at a few that might work nicely in this song. So my favorite simple rhythmic maneuvers are sort of what I call toggles and then arpeggios, which I didn't coin that term, but toggling is where you play the top part of a chord, right? Like this, right? And then you toggle to your thumb. And there's a lot of different rhythmic things you can do with that, but I really like playing around with that. Okay? And arpeggios is simply where you take the notes of the chord and you're playing them individually. Usually in some kind of ascending or descending fashion, but for the purposes of this, you could be playing it in any pattern you want. You're just breaking the chord up and playing the notes individually rather than as a block. That's arpeggiating, okay? So those are really, really useful things. So let me give you some examples of how that might play out. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness. See how I'm just kind of toggling? And it's not, you could do it as you could do it as a drone all the way through. But you can also do, some choice ones. So I'm going chord, toggle, chord, toggle, chord, toggle, chord. And what I love about techniques like toggling and arpeggios is that now you're not dealing with specific notes. What you're dealing is whatever chord you're on, you can use this maneuver. Whatever voicing of the chords you're using, you can use this maneuver. This is a tool that is transferable from song to song, from section to section in a song, from chord to chord, in any genre, in any era. It is just something that can be pulled out and used effectively in 1,000 different ways in thousands of different songs. So that's what I like about it. I like stuff like that where I get a lot of mileage out of the tool. Okay? Arpeggio. Now, arpeggio, there's a lot of different ways to apply one. You could do something like this. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard. All I'm doing there is just on occasion, it's like chord and then breaking it up. What's it doing? It's just making it a little more interesting. See, the thing I love about doing songs like this is that this song is not, this isn't like an Elton John song or a Billy Joel song where the whole basis of the thing was a piano part. And so now there's this specific piano part that you can learn, and then, you can just play the piano part that Billy Joel or Elton John was playing, and boom, that works even when you don't have the band with you. What this is this song isn't based on just a piano doing something. So what we're doing is we're creating a version of what the whole group did for the piano, and it frees you up so you don't have to think of a specific part. Instead, you can just use tools like this and make choices as you're playing, which keeps the song fresh for you every time. The essence is so consistent of the song that other people hearing you play it may never know that you changed it from one performance to another or one playing or to another, but you are making choices spontaneously in the moment, and that's what makes it sort of a new and fresh experience for you, even if it's like 98% the same every time you play it. But that little 2% kind of keeps you coming back for more, because you can always choose an arpeggio or a toggle or something, or you can choose some of the other things that we're going to look at. But you might like the way that sounds. So see what I'm doing here? I'm not even playing any block chords. I'm just one and two and three and four, just arpeggiating down. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but there are so many different choices, and you get to make them. You can make them in advance and then try and play it that way every time. But once you get these tools under your fingers, you can make those choices in the moment that you're playing and just see what happens. And that's my favorite. That's my favorite kind of experience with the piano. It's very, very organic that way. So let's look at some harmonic ideas, okay? One of the things that you can do to create a more harmonic enhancement is you can play different inversions of the chord. So this is what I call root inversion, right? Where the root of the chord is on the bottom. D flat, F, A flat, like so, right? Well, as long as you're playing those three notes, it's still a D flat chord, even if you voice it differently. So you could play it here. F, A flat, D flat, like so, right? Still a D flat chord. And you're playing a D flat down here in the bass. So as long as your left hand is playing the bass note that's assigned to the chord in the chord chart that you get your hands on, then you're fine. You can do it here. You can do it here. A flat, D flat, F. So it changes the sound just a little bit to change the inversion of the chord you're voicing on. So you could be here. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And now this time around, maybe you go to this version of a B chord. It's not far from where you are, so you voice it here with the D sharp, F sharp, and the B in that instead of here. So maybe you're working your way slowly up the keyboard a little bit, and then you can work your way slowly down. So watch how I'm going to use different inversions of both the D chord, or the D flat chord, and the B chord. And I'm going to work my way up and then slowly work my way back down. And it just creates harmonically something a little different. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. I know it. You've lost that love. Okay? So see how I was able to kind of give it and just kind of work my way up and then work my way back down. And so what's happening is that you have it more harmonically interesting because there's different range of space between where the bass notes are and where the right hand notes are. Okay? And so here's a couple things that this song really allows you to think about. One is this song has certain parts that are very big sounding, very big and boisterous and epic, right? That chorus is just rings out, you know. It's like, oh my God, it's so glorious. It's just huge. and yet the verses are very, very subtle, and there's a build-up between what we call the pre-chorus. So the verse is what you'd go, you never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips, and there's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. Then the pre-chorus starts, you're trying hard not to show it, baby, but baby, baby, I know it. There's a build-up during the pre-chorus to this glorious, big, you've lost that love and feeling, right? So what we want to do is think of ways to make that, we've got 2 hands to work with and 88 keys, and we got to stay in the confines of these chords. So how do we use the piano to express the more subtle, smaller sound of the verses and the big epic sound of the chorus, and then build up between the two in that pre-chorus? One of the things that you can use is sparseness rhythmically. When I say sparse, I mean during the part that is a little more laid back, your right hand can be less active. So it sounds smaller, right? It's because it's bigger when you're going. There's more sound. So sparseness, maybe just some longer held notes, and maybe, a toggle or an arpeggio leading to another long held note. The other thing to note is look how the hands don't have a lot of space between them. So we're not using a lot of the more space between your hands, the bigger the sound, because the bigger the difference in the frequencies of the pitches that are being played, right? So maybe then as we get to the pre-chorus, not only can we be a little more rhythmically active, but we start working our right hand up a little bit to create a little extra space between the right and the left hands. You trying hard not to show it, baby, but baby, baby, I know it. And then maybe we stay high and active. So we stay high up here, so there's more space, and we stay fairly active in the rhythm pattern during the chorus. You've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. Now I'm playing 3-note chords. If your hand is comfortable with it, maybe you make that octave chords where you play an octave between your thumb and your pinky and whatever. And that works in any inversion. Play an octave, you can play an octave chord in root inversion like this, or in first inversion, or in second inversion. But bring back that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. And so notice how you don't just have to drone. You can also use those toggles and arpeggios as a way to create more activity, right? Let me play that kind of slow so you can see what I'm doing here. then we're right back to something more subtle. And that's where maybe we use smaller chords, less activity, a little bit less space between the hands. And so see how you can create that effect. Another one of my favorite ways to use an arpeggio that's beautiful for a song like this is to do it so fast that it's basically all part of one count, and it becomes just sort of a, like that. Ba-da-da-da. Or in this case, da-da-da-da. On B. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby, but baby, creating a little extra space between the hands, not a ton, but some, and getting a little more active in the rhythm, but baby, I know it, you lost that love and feeling, oh, that love and feeling. So we have the bigger sound, the smaller sound. Here's another thing that you can do with that's a harmonic enhancement that I really enjoy. You can change the chord ever so slightly. You can add notes to the chord to make it a more complex chord. You never have to do more than the basic triad, okay? No matter what's written next to it, when in doubt, just, is it a major? Is it a minor? Is it a diminished? Is it an augmented? And you can play that triad, and that's going to get the job done. But once you're past the point where you need to limit yourself to that, in a song like this, maybe you thicken the chord up by adding the 9. It's called the added 9 or the 2. Well, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2 and the 9 are the same thing, and we're not going to go into why they sometimes call it add 9, sometimes they call it 2. There are theoretical differences, but let's just skip over that for now. Well, you add that in and see how that chord goes from this to this. Thicker. It's thicker, but not necessarily bigger, right? It's just thicker, and it's more interesting. Your lips. You can do the same thing on the D flat chord. 2, 3, 4, 5. That E flat there. Your lips. And then you can incorporate that into your toggles and arpeggios. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. I'm making the minor, when you have a minor chord and it's a big, luscious, beautiful song like this, I add the dominant 7 in, the minor 7, E flat, G flat, B flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a D flat. Thicken the chord. Hard not to show it, baby. Do the same thing on the F minor if you like. But baby, here's my G flat chord, and once again I'm adding 1, 2. That's my added 9 or my 2, the A flat. But baby, I know it. You lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. And then maybe you ditch that stuff during the chorus and go to straight major minors. but just try to make the chord bigger, maybe octave chords, right? And so what you're doing here is just creating little harmonic enhancements to make it more interesting, since what we want to do is sort of a rhythmic, sparse, kind of a sparse rhythmic strategy in order to have that more subdued thing going on during the verses. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby, 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 I know it. You lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 do. Right? So you see how you can use these different tools. Up here, playing big, bright, lush chords, but not really enhancing them much, just keeping them really clear, crystal clear, just majors and minors. But I'm playing big, stretched out, big sound, and I'm creating space between my hands, and I'm using toggles and arpeggios up here to create more rhythmic activity, because we want to use every tool that we can to make that section big and epic. And we want to use every tool that we can to make this section soft and subtle and more subdued and more laid back. But then those harmonic things that we can do, like changing the chord a little bit, boy, they really make it more interesting, since we're doing less rhythmically and we're playing smaller chords. We're not stretching them out so much, and we don't have so much space between our hands. The other thing you can do, you can drop your left hand an octave and create even more space. And right back to this subtle. What a beautiful song. What a gift. What a gift that such great songwriters and producers made such incredible music for us to be able to not just listen, but then to get to, like, you know, in the comfort of our own home, to take a magnificent instrument like this and to be able to project that and express it ourselves, and to be at the center of that gorgeous, lush, just beautiful piece of music. I mean, I have goosebumps right now. And I mean, I've played this song hundreds of times, and it never ceases to just really hit me, because it's just such a beautiful piece of art. And what a privilege it is to have come across this information in my life, and to have the wherewithal to be able to be at the center of that music, and to have it coming from me, not just coming at me, but coming from me. And I hope that's what I'm helping to empower you to do. And I know that this is not I'm not just sitting down and teaching you, oh, here's a way to play this song and then just follow it note for note. And I do that occasionally. I do put out videos like that occasionally, but this is so much more important to me to show you the tools that you can use so that you can do this with lots of songs. Whatever songs really speak most to you. These tools, they are transferable. You can use toggles and arpeggios and enhanced chords and stuff like that. And good Lord, like pretty much every song that's been written since the beginning of the 20th century. So, so powerful, so powerful. And once you learn one of these tools, it's yours forever. And it just makes it that much more fun. And you know, I've been fortunate enough to make a living as a professional musician now for, gosh, I mean, I've been making some portion of my living from it for like 30 years, and I've been full-time with it for almost 20. And to this day, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's great, but it's what brings me back to it is this feeling that you get when you kind of dial in and you find the rhythm pattern that works for a song and it slides into the pocket, you know, and you find the little enhancements you can make to the chords, both rhythmically and harmonically, that just really complement it. And you come up with a strategy to create the appropriate tone and difference, subtle differences between the verses and the choruses and the bridges and all that kind of stuff. And oh man, it's still the most exciting thing in the world to me, and I have been doing it since I was 12 years old, and I'm 46 at the time that I'm putting this video out. So the feeling just never dies. I ain't ever lost that Lovin Feelin with the process of learning songs. And the beauty of this is that, you know what, if the only thing that you're able to do at this stage in your piano playing is just play the basic rhythm pattern for it, you know, the essential rhythm pattern for it, and just play the chords in their most simple form, this is still a great sounding version of that song. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby, but baby, I know it. You lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love. So this method, it starts you out in a great place, even when your skill set is very limited. But you have the whole rest of your life to learn more tools, and the song keeps evolving with you. Like, as you learn new tools, you can apply them and see what you like, and you go through mood shifts, and it's like, well, for a while, this is what sounded the best to me, and then I kind of changed my mind, and I liked this better, and I liked this, and the song is fresh and new and an evolving, living, breathing piece of art that you get to experience fresh every single time. That's what I love most about this method. That's what I hope I'm able to impart to you, and this is just such a masterpiece of a piece of music. Anyway, I could go on, and I probably have already gone on and on too much, but hopefully this gives you some sense of how to approach not only this song, but some very, very practical, usable tools that you can take with you to other songs that turn you on, because the chords are out there, gang. The lyrics and the chords are out there. The recordings are out there. The world is your oyster right now for music. So if you have an interest in making music yourself using this instrument that I love with all my heart, there's never been a better time. And I just so much want you to know the tools that have changed my life and made this such a meaningful part of my life. So thank you. I'm going to get out of here for now. We'll leave it there. Remember, we'll be back every Friday with a new lesson. We call it the Free Lesson Friday series. Come check my channel out. Go to pianomanaapproach.com. All right, and we got some free goodies over there. You can learn more about my method, my courses, and be part of the community and get some free stuff. And if you want to be on my mailing list, I send out, both. I send out performance and teaching clips every single week, and put them in my blog and send out alerts about that. And we have a great group of people over there from all over the world who we all bond together through our mutual love of great music and making great music on the piano. So we would love to have you there if you're interested. Just check it out. I got all the links down in the video description below. And remember my personal mantra, all right? If you ain't having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Piano Man Steve signing out for now, and I'll see you on the next Free Lesson Friday. Bye-bye.